Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Something has come to light. Let's put it that way. Like who the big, well, not even big, but who the person behind the, we'll call it the Wizard of Oz. I must be Dorothy or something because I know who that is. I'm kind of joking about the Dorothy part, but I mean, the Wizard of Oz. Okay, I don't know if you realize this or not, but the whole Wizard of Oz is really about going and finding your chakras. The lion that's looking for the heart of courage, and the scarecrow that's looking for the brain. What was it that the Tin Man was looking for? I don't remember. Anyway, the point is, it was about their chakras and getting it healed. So that by the time they do get to the Wizard of Oz, they're able to see the truth. Okay? I don't know if you get that or not. I mean, there's a lot in these things. But, then there's, the part at the end. They make it that it's this great Wizard of Oz or whatever, and you pull back the curtain, it's just some little dude, right? The movie True Man Show, which, like a true man or true woman, okay? In the very beginning, that Christoph person or whatever is sitting there going on about that no one likes the pyrotechnics and all the special effects, da-da-da-da-da, because he goes into a real world to do it. Well, y'all, there's a real life one that's been happening to us, okay? Who is that? Rather shocking. I'll call this person little Napoleon, okay? Actually shorter than they really are, but, they're always trying to hide it. Little man syndrome. But it would be my mother, who she married, when she was in Hollywood. I'm talking about Sharon Tate. Yeah, little Napoleon. I mean, she would have never married that guy. There's no way. No. I mean, it kind of looked like it was going to be that fella. Jay Sebring. But of course, he had a different name. Everyone has a different name until they get to Hollywood, and then they change their name. Yeah. Yeah, and the people that they say are their family members, that's not the family members. They put up people to, to be these people, because obviously the family members normally aren't going to want to be involved in all that. You know what I mean? It's the Hollywood illusion. It's, all the world's a stage, and the men and women are just merely players. And you have someone that's, putting people here and there and all this stuff, and he's just a rotten little sorry shit. It doesn't even stand taller than a cockroach. But this is who, thinks he can do whatever he wants to, put people in a matrix, and make their life a movie, to make a bunch of movies and all this stuff, and he enlists all these people and the MK Ultra, and I mean, I'm talking about he has done this to the family, my bloodline, to attack these people, and it's been going on for a very long time. And the people in the family, you've got to wake up. You got to wake up out of this. Realize who this animal is. When you realize that you're dealing with an animal that is fucking with everyone's lives, how do you deal with it? You cut all ties. You don't ever talk to this, thing again. The little thing that, I'm pretty sure cockroaches stand taller than this piece of shit movie director, producer. Hardly. You have to steal from someone else. You're still going to have to face your karma. That's regardless, you little weasel. No good for nothing. A little, what do they call that? Little man syndrome in more ways than one. It's time to grow up. Stop acting like a little child in a man's body, but you don't even have a man's body. Okay? Grow up. How old are you now? I mean, like, ew. That's disgusting. Yeah, it's time for everybody to wake up and smell the truth. You know, they say smell the coffee, but they just need to smell the truth and realize what it is. People that gaslight people, well, you know, if you're gaslighting people, you're also lying to yourself. Okay? I highly suggest that everyone really take deep thought to make their attention known to the universe that you, no matter what, that you know, wherever the heck you are in life, that you want help, that you want healing, and that you want to choose the right path. You know, put your net on the right side to choose the correct path and not the wrong path. If you take the wrong path, you can get trapped. It's a good time to choose the right path now while people are doing this now. You know, you're in with others, you know, or you can be left behind. But trust me, everyone has their own path, okay? Everyone eventually is going to be coming along. There's just not going to be a way for no one to not do it. There are some people in this world that will not give up no matter what. No matter what or how or what ways they have to do it, but having to do it without a hand, without any help, with everyone attacking you and doing everything they can to take you down, when you're actually there to help them, but they can't see that because it's demonic, you know, demooned, you know, demooned, demonic. Really think about that. There's a lot of things, if you were to really sit there and think about it while you're in isolation or by yourself, you would have epiphany after epiphany, light bulb after light bulb. And it doesn't mean it starts right away at the beginning. It gets more and more as you heal those chakras. And then you're like, holy shit, why didn't I do this? You know, all that kind of stuff. It's one of these things that's very hard to describe to someone until they do it. Everyone needs to do it. Choose yourself. Choose your fucking self instead of, you know, how's that song go? Looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, looking outward because that's what the world is teaching. You know, you're to be in the world but not of it, right? There's all these words and what, you know, sayings and all this stuff, but, you know, people say it, but they don't always know what it means. You definitely need to know what it means and, you know, and how to apply it. But as you go through this journey, you'll be getting it, you know, instead of looking at someone else saying, you know, I wished I was there or whatever. You know, it's fantastic to be inspired by people, but don't feel down in the dumps that you're not there yet. You have no idea of the people that have fought and the hell they've gone through to get to where they're at. You know, like people being jealous of someone, you may not realize that this is someone that's gone through lifetimes of lifetimes of lifetimes of lifetimes of fighting the same shit because they're trying to get it out of the family. You know, it's like if you won't work on it, then we'll just not be around you. You know, and anyone that's around them, you're enabling the people to do the bad. You know, the people that are stay in the comfort zone or, well, I don't want to live in a hotel. Well, shit, you know, I don't exactly either, but it's like you have to do what you have to do. And the people want to treat people like shit when they're out here, you know, doing everything they can to help people. They want to attack people and attack whatever it is they're doing, but you don't realize you're incurring karma. You are incurring karma. So you might want to be real careful what you're doing. If you want to be abundant, then start helping animals. Have a heart. Do things with a heart and compassion. You know, start putting water outside for animals. Make sure it's good and clean water. Does it have, you know, is it fluoride free? You know, I mean, start working towards that. All the water needs to be fluoride free. It also needs to be free of chlorine. Do you know what they used to use in the water to keep it, well, electrically charged and clean and stuff like that? It's a big shock. Copper. They used to do all kinds of things. The hospitals, they had a certain kind of linens, all this kind of stuff to help people to heal. There are things that are high vibrational, and that is what makes you heal. You know, homes that are made of hemp is much better, and letting the trees grow so that we have all the oxygen for what? Healing. You got people here that are out to manage everything. They want to control the animals. They want to put them all in jail, and you know what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. At what point do you realize that the animals had to have a card for their, you understand what I'm showing? For their record, showing that they had this shot, whatever. But then so did people. No way could that be something really, really bad and dangerous for each and everything that's had that. Not just humans, but the animals too. At what point do people wake up to the truth instead of trying to stuff it and hide it and control everything? It's time to grow up. It's time to be adults. Time to stop suppressing truth. It's time to grow up. Some people may be called out, and it's to help get them where they need to go. When someone has forgiven themselves and healed and they're forgiven with God, it's forgiven. And it's the past. All right? When someone goes through all of that, the past is in the past. Because people have been put through things that they've been MK Ultra'd into, SRA'd into. There are people that know this. There's other people that don't know it. That's the point of getting healed, so that it's supposed to be I don't know how you want to call it, like a ripple effect, a chain reaction or whatever, where everyone starts getting healed. They run into this one, well, this one starts getting healed, well, then their whole family, they're running into that, then they're going to have to get healed, so on, There's a movie called, I believe it's called Nail 32. It's like a country movie, but it's talking about the 32 nails in the horse's, shoe. But it was actually meaning about like turning people over to God. Now, of course, that was probably a rather, religious movie, but that was what they knew at the time. Okay, it's really about spirituality, and if you can't go and read the, Nag Hammadi, the Gnostics. I can't remember which one it was, but it's one of these people that, talk about like the, the higher reality, all that stuff, I don't remember their names. Like, I want to say Bill Anderson and along the lines of Jordan Maxwell, those type people. But they don't, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Bill Anderson that said it. I could be wrong, but it's someone like that. That said, and the Gnostics want us to, not have anything and be happy. They're not grasping the full picture, though. Whenever people just don't get it. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a wealthy person into heaven. Okay? And people don't grasp what heaven is. Well, heaven's a place here on earth. It really has to do with your chakras and your mind. When everything's healed, then you can bring it forth. By knowing how to manifest it. When you know how to do that, no one wants to learn how to manifest their dreams. Now, do they? But when you realize that you can do this, do you want to fight someone and tell them, no, you can't do that? Okay, then, go on your own way and live in that reality while the rest of us go and do this, and you watch us until you finally decide you don't want to do that anymore. If you've got time. But this is something where people need to choose to change. And no one is allowed to take someone's likeness to use it or their essence to make money off of. It belongs to the person it came from. You don't get to do that. You don't get to go and MK Ultra people and, to find a way to put someone on. They like to do this to put someone on TV or something like that to do a humiliation ritual in order to get them to do what they want. You like to join some stupid cult crap or whatever. I'm sorry. I don't care if you got all the money in the world. I don't want your cult. I don't need it. No one else does either. No one cares about your stupid little cults or your little cartels or your little mob, whatever the fuck. No one really cares. It's really weak, pathetic, cowardly, bully shit. It's like, I'm sorry, but that is the weakest form of life, okay? Anyone that thinks that they're badass, I've got the mob, the cartel. I'm sorry, you're just not impressive. I mean, like, are we supposed to shake and cower in fear? No. Grow up. Start acting like an adult instead of some little, I don't know, it's like a little chicken turd trying to act tough. Grow up. I don't know. That's like the funniest thing. I'm still trying to get over that. The high waters and the loafer things with no socks. Ew, don't you know those feet stink? It's not authentic. People are not going to like authentic. And then you got the people out there that are pretending to be rock stars, that, I'm not saying about everybody, but there's a number of people, they dress up and it's not authentically them. And it's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't look good. If it was authentic, it would flow. It would look, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. But the deal is, you do this healing, then you can be authentic, and you will magnetically draw people to you, okay? But you got to learn all these things first. Not get mad that someone else is able to magnetically draw this and that to them. It's a teaching point. Everything on this planet is a teaching point. Learn to look at it that way so that you can be inspired, be like, okay, now how can I do that? Well, how are they doing that? Those are the kind of questions you need to be asking. You need to be doing your words, in a positive fashion. Learn to speak positive. That doesn't mean you have to be all Pollyanna. Love and light, truly. But without darkness, you wouldn't be able to find the love and light. Think about it. If there was not a single light in the world, someone would have to turn on a light, find a light, light a light or something, strike fire, light a match, something for anyone to be able to see. You'd have to find the light. If you're in utter darkness, it's a little bit easier to find it. It shines brighter, doesn't it? And that's okay, because that's kind of the point of it. So you know where to find it, so that you know how to become it. To have anything in this world, you have to become that frequency. So you need to understand what that means. It's just, that would be like the easiest thing for me if they just explain what that is, and I've got it. I'm talking a long time ago when I was struggling really bad. But, I still have struggles because of, all the things they've done to me. And they do this to other people. I certainly am not the only one. You need to start looking at these stories like mine and other people's stories, the testimonies, what people have been through, to look at your own life. Well, what's going on in your life? Stop looking at everything the way that the religion taught everyone, to browbeat everyone for everything. We get it. We know. That's how it used to be, and you don't let society tell you how to live. Fuck society. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit there ever was. That's how they corral and force people into shit without saying exactly what it is, but this is how it is. Watch what we do. Monkey see, monkey do. It's time to wake up, snap out of it, so that we have people that are awake, and to where people aren't, so asleep, which means like spiritually dead. Being asleep is being spiritually dead. You can't see, you can't, no knowledge of what's going on. It's being Nebuchadnezzar, or Nebuchadnezzar is what I like to call it. Just, kind of be funny with it. So some humor around, which is a good thing when you're dealing with this kind of stuff. All right, y'all. But I mean, I'm not playing here. All these horrible things that have been going on with the Hollywood, this being this way and this being that way. When something bad happens, and there's lies and there's things that are hidden and stuff like that, and it continues and the truth never comes out, it's going to implode and get worse. You must have, integrity and truth come out, or it's just going to be karma around everywhere for everyone. Let's not do that. Let's just go into healing and do this the right way, And the people that are going to skits out about it's, not religion, and they can't even seem to see that where they do I can't think of what it's called, but they do the bread and the wine, it starts with a C. I want to say consecration, is that even right? Anyway, but they, this is the bread, this is the blood, or whatever. That's a blood ritual. You don't want to do that. That's part of the satanic ritual. Don't freak out. I'm telling you this so that you're not doing something bad. And when you really sit there and think about it, you're going to realize it. You know what I mean? You need to be aware of what you're doing, what you're saying. Just because it's in a Bible doesn't mean that it's all good. You know, you can really take the words and really look at them and see, oh, it ain't all good, you know. If you look at the book of James and about the tongue, and then you read like the rest of the Bible, you should be kind of like, oh, wait a damn minute. This ain't cool. Why does the Bible always contradict itself? But no way anybody messed up with it. Just in all the Freemason lodges is a King James Bible. But if you know who's been behind everything, I mean, there sure is an awful lot of land grabs going on. I mean, it appears that, you know, this is one person that's behind everything, running it all. And you mean to tell me it's this little 2-foot tall cockroach that some, you know, crappy ass movie producer, director, whatever the hell those people are? I mean, damn. I mean, these people don't have real emotions, so they have to do things a certain way so that it seems like, you know, they have real emotions, or that they can come up with it, you know, to be a movie director or a producer, whatever. But all these movies and stuff that they do, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just, you know, they keep repeating it over and over again, you know. Same movie and dress it around different. If you were really to look at everything, you'd be kind of surprised at what's really going on when you come up higher into a higher reality, of course, a higher consciousness, expanding your mind and seeing everything the way it really is, instead of the gaslit version, which is where you're being lied to. Okay? All right, y'all, it's time to break out of the mind prison, the mind cube that they've been putting us in. All right, y'all, take care. God bless.